Join us and help us continue to support the many talented people of our community. Learn how to get your business highlighted on La Crosse Local. Go to lacrosselocal.com and click on Advertise. Prevention is the key to a healthy life. That's why Gunderson Health encourages you to learn about vaccines and how they can help you and your loved ones stay healthy. Vaccines protect against preventable diseases and viruses by boosting your body's defenses. Visit GundersonHealthVax.com to learn more. We sat down with musician Bryce Thomaschefsky. We chatted about music, being a songwriter, open jams, and got into the Granddad Get-Down, taking place Saturday, June 3rd at the Alpine Inn. We also talked about the Driftless Sessions, a new video series on the horizon. You can find more conversations, food reviews, live music, weekend picks, and events on our website, lacrosselocal.com. I'm Amy.
And I'm Brent.
And this is La Crosse Local.
There's lots of things along the road I'd surely like to see. I'd like to lean into the wind and tell myself I'm free. But your softest whisper's louder than the highway's call to me. Close your eyes, oh, I'll be here in the morning.
My name is Bryce Thomaschefsky. I'm from Merrill, Wisconsin. I started getting into music probably when I was 16 years old, just kind of playing around. My first live performance was starting at the Jesse's Wish Memorial Benefit that we hold in Merrill, Wisconsin. Played in between Phil Wickham, who was kind of a Northwood staple, and Joseph Huber out of Milwaukee. The first song I ever performed live was the Gord's version of Gin and Juice by Snoop Dogg. And that's always a fun one that I do.
Nice. So, I've just kind of noticed you in a number of different songwriter events. Your name keeps popping up. Specifically, like at the Alpine Inn, there seems to be a resurgence of just like talent coming up there. What is your connection with the Alpine Inn and the music scene?
So I moved from Oshkosh. I started a first year of school at Oshkosh. Didn't really like it. Came down to La Crosse, hit up Alpine, said, hey, I'd like to do a gig up there if you guys are looking for live music. Said, sure thing, set me up. After my gig there, I met Tony. Tony and I sort of clicked together, got along, started a great friendship. I actually started working up there, started bartending and cooking. And through that process, he was telling me that he wants to kind of grow the live music scene up there. And I was like, well, I'm friends with a lot of central Wisconsin musicians, so I think we can work this out.
They have ongoing, which I think you host, right? With like a lot of different open jams happening.
Yeah, so me and Andrew Hughes every second Thursday of the month will be the Andy and Bryce's Open Alpine Jam.
So how does that work with people, who are just getting up like you were a number of years ago? How does that, people just show up?
Yeah, it's a Nashville style open mic. So sign up with Andy or Alpine or me, reach out and just say, hey, this is what I want to bring to the table. We'll get you signed up. It's 15-minute sets, up to 2 sets per person or duo or band. And we'd love to see more people up there. If you have any musical talent at all, please come up to the Alpine and jam. We'd love it.
So like I was saying, Alpine Inn it just seems to be really turning it up with music locally, but also just like a lot of bands coming through. So I think kind of like your big festival, their big festival is the Granddad Get-Down happening Saturday, June 3rd. Can you tell us about that? Are you kind of hosting that way in some ways, or are you just performing? Or did you organize it?
Tony definitely organized it majoritively. I gave him the names for Joseph Huber, Billy Bronstead, who is from the same county as me. Him and I have played together at a couple different venues, and Hemlock Chaser out of Stevens Point area. And he got connected with obviously Knee High July. He's good buddies with them, and the Spine Stealers, who are interconnected with Knee High. And I'm very excited for that. That's going to be a great show.
We just got to talk with Billy Bronstead. We'll be releasing that podcast as well. And we're connected with a few other of these folks here and talked to Knee High July quite a bit. For people who haven't heard of a few of these folks, what type of music can they expect for that day?
You're going to get a good mix of everything. Myself, I'm working on some originals, but right now it's just kind of a lot of classic country covers, stuff like that. Knee High and Spine Stealers, you're going to get your good sense of folk music. Billy, you're going to get a good sense of kind of that honky tonk country mixed with a little bit of cosmic kind of country infusion in there. Joe is just one of the best songwriters, I think, to come out of the state, period. I've tried to sit down and analyze his work since I was a kid, and it's mind-boggling every single time. And he's also one of the most down-to-earth, humbling men you'll ever meet in your life. So you're going to get a little bit of everything, and I think people are going to be really excited to see it.
Yeah, Knee High July also just brings a lot of energy to the stage. They're part of our Lacrosse Winter Roots that happens in here towards the spring. But I mean, always fun, always getting the crowd pumped up, and a full day of music, starting at 2 p.m. on June 3rd. I'm excited for it.
I'm very excited as well.
So I've seen them around, there's different popularities related to it, like the Tiny Desk series. Big Yellow Couch is another one where bands come and play, in different small venues, and you record a few songs. You guys reached out about potentially you're looking to record artists via Driftless Sessions, and that sort of similar vein, aren't you?
Yes. So Driftless Sessions kind of started as a quote unquote half-baked idea. I had been seeing stuff like the Bard Sessions and Western AF on YouTube, and Tony and I had been kind of collaborating about getting more attention to the scene than there is. Obviously, there is a music scene here. We feel like it could be pushed way higher than it is. So along with Tony, myself, and my cousin Travis Burrow up in Merrill, who kind of runs all the audio side of it, we kind of kickstarted Driftless Sessions. Right now, the first video is out. It's just kind of a test run of me covering a Joshua Ray Walker song. Andy and I have recorded a video. I have a video recorded with Greg Cheech Hall. We have one lined up with Dig Deep and Billy Bronstead and Kevin Tressler and a whole list of names.
So when can people expect to see like a new episode up?
Right now, Travis is mastering the audio for Greg. So that's going to be probably expected in the next 2 weeks here. The recording I did with Andy, we had some technical difficulties, so we got to get back to that. But otherwise, kind of maybe the next month or two, another 3 to 4 videos.
And again, just kind of talking about the Alpine, hearing about a lot of the different bands that are coming through there. You're referencing just this great lineup during the Granddad Get-Down. What do you think it is about the music from this region? I mean, I'm talking 60 to 90 miles away. It seems like a lot of these bands are highly original music. What's happened? Has it always been like this? Or do you think there's some sort of resurgence in just regional music, Wisconsin, Minnesota based?
Yeah. Growing up in central Wisconsin, there's always been kind of a deep connection to that culture with original based music. Obviously, a lot of it is Western based and stuff like that. But I think the biggest influence for a lot of bands coming up now was 357 string band, my bad, out of Milwaukee in the early 2000s. That was Joseph Huber's old band. And if you ask a lot of people, I think I heard on your podcast actually with Oscar from Dig Deep, he said that was a big influence for them. And that's a lot of people you ask. They kind of kickstarted that thrash, punk grass, underground scene here in central Wisconsin. So I do think a lot of it is originality, but I think it is kind of a slight resurgence coming up.
I know you put out there driftlessmedia.net. So is that directly connected to Driftless Sessions, or is that kind of your just own business that you've kind of kicked off as well?
It is going to be kind of its standalone thing. Driftless Sessions is intertwined with that. That's where you're going to find some of our videos when we post them. If you're not on the social media, that has all the links to our different socials. We are going to work on getting a shop up with just some koozies and shirts and stuff like that if you want to represent the brand. Yeah, but it's just kind of a hub for everything.
Cool. So basically people, if they want to find out about the song, the songwriting events or the upcoming events like, Dig Deep or the Granddad Get-Down, I think there's quite a few that are coming up on the events on Facebook. Is Facebook pretty much the way to go for Alpine Inn?
Yeah, absolutely. We do have a website, but Facebook is definitely the number one way to get us.
Yeah. For people to follow along related to Driftless Sessions, where should they go? On YouTube or to your website? What's the best spot for people to follow along?
There's Driftless Sessions on YouTube. Otherwise, you can get a hub to all of our socials at www.driftlessmedia.net.
Lacrosse Local Podcast is a production of River Travel Media. Do you have an interview idea you'd like to share with us? Message us on Facebook at Lacrosse Local. find out more about us at lacrosselocal.com, and you can subscribe to the Lacrosse Local podcast on your favorite podcast app. If you like us, rate us 5 stars. We appreciate it.